Hi everybody, A.B. Sigler back again this week with another Siglocktail recipe that is a little bit festive for the holidays. Last week we had a Saint Germain cocktail because it's one of Scott's favorites. This week we are going to be making a pretty standard drink, a cosmopolitan, but we're going to shine it up just a tiny little bit. So it'll be a Santa Clausmopolitan. The hat is a hint. Let's get started. Normally, a cosmopolitan would go into a martini glass. I'm going to use this glass, sort of a stemless martini glass for mine. The drink is made in a cocktail shaker. You're gonna have some ice in the cocktail shaker. I already have ice in my cocktail shaker. Normally, a cosmopolitan calls for a citrus-flavored vodka. When this drink was created back in 1988, it was popularized by a bartender in New York City named Toby Cecchini. And Toby Cecchini was one of the first bartenders to start to play with the first flavored vodkas that came out. And I think it might have been Absolute who put out the very first flavored vodka kind of in the mid-'80s. And that's where this whole fruity, light, what I keep calling TGI Fridays cocktails, because I made a lot of them when I worked at TGI Fridays, probably started. I'm actually going to use a straight up vodka, because I find that I think that the flavored vodkas are a little bit too sweet for me. So we're gonna start with 1.5 ounces of vodka into our shaker. Next, you need a triple sec or a Cointreau or a Grand Marnier. I have seen people make this drink with all three of those, and you need 1 ounce of this. I am gonna use my favorite Luxardo triple sec. And then, as you know, I'm a big advocate of if you can use fresh lime juice, use fresh lime juice. But if you can't, you can use whichever store-bought lime juice you would want. I would rather you enjoy a Christmassy cocktail than give it up because you don't want to squeeze the fresh limes. Your mileage may vary. 1/2 ounce into your shaker. And you're going to take cranberry juice. This is what gives it its classic pink flavor. This recipe, since it's a little Christmassy, we're going to add 3/4 ounce into your shaker. Put on the lid again. Here's where things get crazy. Oh, the weather outside is frightful, oh, so delightful. And if you know a place to go, let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. Part of the reason that you're shaking it in the shaker vigorously is so that the ice breaks up a tiny little bit and kind of gets into your drink. And so little tiny chips of ice may be floating around once you pour your drink through the strainer, which is why you use a strainer like this and not like a mesh strainer, because you'll lose any of the little ice chips. Anyhow, almost done. I'd say about 40-45 seconds. Your strainer over it because it goes into a glass with no ice. Whoop. Put your strainer over it like that. Whoop. Almost forgot, you guys. For this version of the drink, you take a lime wedge and you rub it around the outside of your glass in a thick line. Take a plate of baking sugar and you make a thick rim of sugar on the edge of your glass. And I'm doing it like this because my goal is to have a big, thick, white rim that sort of looks like this. Now you get it? Shape of the glass. You take your cosmopolitan, which we made a little bit more red than normal. Still not really red, mine. Kind of pink. I should have made a little bit more. And once this sort of settles, it'll get a little bit pinker, a little less cloudy, a little less white. Here's the last trick. Since it's a cranberry drink, you take a handful of fresh cranberries, see them? Yay! And they float in the top of your glass. And so that's a Cosmo, but it's sort of a Christmassy Cosmo. Let's try it. Yeah, Santa Clausmopolitan I'm in for sure. If you would like to join us enjoying these Santa Clausmopolitans, on Sigler in Place this week. You can find us on Tuesday and Thursday at 6 p.m. Pacific time. We're at facebook.com/Scott Sigler, youtube.com/Scott Sigler, or twitch.tv/Scott Sigler. We will be enjoying the Santa Clausmopolitans and entertaining you guys for about an hour, Tuesday, Thursday, 6 p.m. And I will make sure that my hat doesn't make me look quite so compromised. Hopefully you guys can join us. If you can't, hopefully you enjoy these. If neither one of those things is possible, please stay safe and come back and see us when you can.